Show me the money.
Spotify is in talks to buy Gimlet Media, it's been reported. Recode quote the price as being $200 million. Nick Quah adds that a source tells him the specific price is $230 million. The Wall Street Journal's Ben Mullin underlines that talks are ongoing and it's still possible that a deal won't happen. There is, though, an investors' Q4 earnings call on Wednesday, so we should know more later this week. We've checked the data. In an opinion piece today, we try to understand the purchase because it's not that straightforward. You'll find that link too from our newsletter and the show notes. Elsewhere, Pete Davies argues that this might change everything or might change nothing. And Cohen Robinson suspect it's a case of embrace, extend and extinguish. In other news, Dana Carvey and Conan O'Brien talk about podcasting on a recent podcast, and Dana Carvey has a sudden realization. It's a good reminder of the power of podcasting. We link to a transcript from our newsletter and from the show notes. A free recording space for indie podcasters has opened in Seattle, in Washington, in the US, run by Podcific Northwest. A Russian-language podcast article focuses on Podcasterskaya, a podcast production company in the country. It's interesting to note that VK, the Facebook equivalent, has a podcast portal there. You can now register for the 2019 Latin Podcast Awards. Brazil is now the second largest podcast download market in the world. It's bigger than the UK and Australia combined, according to Blueberry. An event for you, the Indie Podfest in Melbourne in Victoria in Australia in July. If you're interested in attending, there's a short survey for you in our show notes and in our newsletter. And Google is shutting Google+, their social media network, shortly. You might want to go there, leave a final message and grab anything that you want to save. In our newsletter and in our show notes, we mention 4 new podcasts: David Walliams' marvellous musical podcast, Winnetka with Jessica Harper, The Family Tree, and Masters of Scale.